Hello, my name is Mike and I just finished up my hunt for the season and packed out a deer with my Exo Mountain. This is the 5000. So I was just washing it to get the blood off of it, make sure it doesn't get funky smelling, keep it in good shape. They recommend that you just hand wash these with cold water, mild detergent. So I just kind of wanted to go over how I am doing the process. There's a couple things that you can use. They only recommend using like a mild detergent. So you can use something like this, or like this Downwind. Those ones have like the scent killers in them, or just like light, mild detergent, like something like this light, just a little bit of light detergent to help get everything out, and then just hand wash everything if you need. Use like a washcloth. Before I started, this whole area where I was packing the deer out was pretty heavy in blood, so I'm just using this rag here to wipe the whole surface, and then of course getting this area as well, because some blood spilled along here. This area is pretty heavy in blood, but just using your hands as agitators works pretty good. And then just kind of lifting, letting it drain, dipping it back in, doing that a few times will be helpful. And then once I get this all washed up and the water looks pretty clean, I'm going to do a good rinse to make sure I get all the soap out of there. This is probably the second time I washed with a little light, mild detergent, just because the first batch was pretty dirty and had a lot of blood in it from the deer. So I'm going to finish that up. I'll get it rinsed, and then we're going to get it hung, and we'll talk a little bit more about it from there. Okay, so now I'm just kind of rinsing this a little bit. Alright, that water is starting to look pretty clean, so I'm going to just do a good rinse now. I'm going to drain this soapy water, and I did make sure to get all these areas where the meat rack is in the frame, to make sure that all the blood is out of there, because we don't want to have any rotten. Sorry about that. We don't want to have any kind of weird smells going on here. And the rinsing process is basically the same. I am going to use my hose a little bit to help kind of get this Velcro area out a little bit, and just kind of spray the top off, because the top is a little harder to fit all the way in the sink, so I'm just going to spray it down. And I am kind of avoiding the shoulder pad area, just because I don't want to get those pads soaked, because I don't want to really mess up the padding there. I'm not 100% sure if Exo Mountain says that you can or can't wash those, but just to err on the side of caution, I'm going to skip doing that part. But alright, now I'm going to just kind of fill this sink up and get a good rinse, and then we're going to just hang the bag upside down with all the pockets open to dry. Alright, we got that all nice and rinsed. do one final dip and then let it drain off. And then I'll be hanging the bag up like this, basically with the meat rack and the bag separated, hanging over a pole so that they can drain and dry real nicely. And like I said, I am keeping all these pockets open so that everything gets nice and dry. I will be opening this one up as well so we can get that nice and dry. But there you have it. This, like I said, is the K4, the Exo Mountain K4 5000. And that is the process that you go through to wash that pack after, you know, a hunting season or before you get started with your next hunt. So hopefully this video was helpful for you, and good luck out there on your hunts. Have fun, be safe.